Though the harvest festival Lunasa is an important celebration in the Celtic calendar, it is just one part of a collection of all the major celebrations, which is referred to as the Wheel of the Year. The Wheel of the Year is central to understanding how the Celtic people connected with nature, the sun, and the cycles of life. It's a calendar divided into 8 significant festivals, each marking either a solstice, an equinox, or the midpoint between them. We begin the year with Yule, celebrated on December 21st, the winter solstice. Yule marks the shortest day of the year, a time when the sun reaches its lowest point in the sky. The Celts saw this as a time of renewal and the rebirth of the sun, as the days would gradually grow longer. Fires were lit, candles burned, all to welcome back the light. This return of the sun was a powerful symbol of hope and regeneration, a promise that winter's darkness would eventually give way to the bright days of spring. Moving on, we have Imbolc on February 1st, a festival that ushers in the beginning of spring. Imbolc, which means in the belly or ewe's milk, coincided with the lambing season, making it a time of new beginnings and fertility. Today, Imbolc is also celebrated as St. Bridget's Day. The goddess Bridget, associated with healing, poetry, and smithcraft, was honored with bonfires, and homes were adorned with Bridget's crosses, which were made from wheat or rushes, symbolizing protection and prosperity for the year ahead. Next, we reach the spring equinox, occurring between March 20th and 23rd. This is a time of balance where day and night are equal. The spring equinox is a celebration of new life and rebirth as nature begins to awaken from its winter slumber. For the Celts, this was a time of growth, fertility, and planting, as well as a time to set intentions for the year to come. As the days lengthen and the warmth of the sun intensifies, we arrive at Bealtaine on May 1st. Bealtaine marks the beginning of the summer, a time of fire and fertility. Bonfires were lit, and cattle were driven between them to protect them from disease. It was also a time when the barriers between our world and the world of spirits was believed to be thin, so offerings were made to ensure a bountiful harvest, as well as protection from malevolent forces. And now, the summer solstice, celebrated between June 20th and 23rd, which marks the longest day of the year. This is a time of peak energy when the sun's power is at its zenith. It's a time of celebration, but also of acknowledgement that from this point on, the days will begin to shorten, leading us slowly towards the darker half of the year. Lunasa is the third of the 4 fire festivals in the Celtic year, taking place between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. Traditionally celebrated on August 1st, Lunasa marks the beginning of the harvest season, a time when communities would come together to celebrate the fruits of their labor and the abundance of the earth. As we move forward, the autumn equinox appears next on the wheel, occurring between September 20th and 23rd. This equinox, like its spring counterpart, is a time of balance. It's a celebration of the second harvest, a time of thanksgiving and reflection as the days grow shorter and colder. The autumn equinox is a moment to gather in the fruits of your labor to prepare for the winter months ahead. Now, let's talk about Samhain, celebrated on October 31st, a festival that many of you might recognize as the precursor and inspiration for what we now celebrate as Halloween. Samhain marks the end of the harvest at the beginning of winter, a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest. This liminal time is when the Celts believed that the spirits of the dead could cross over into our world. Bonfires were lit to ward off malevolent spirits, and offerings were made to honor ancestors. Each of these festivals, Yule, Imbolc, the spring equinox, Bealtaine, the summer solstice, Lunasa, the autumn equinox, and Samhain, represents a spoke in the wheel of the year. Together, they guide us through the cycles of nature, encouraging us to connect with the world around us, to celebrate, to reflect, and to prepare for what's to come. The wheel of the year isn't just about marking time, it's about understanding our place within the natural world. Each festival offers an opportunity to celebrate the changing seasons, to honor the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, and to find balance within ourselves as we move through the year. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Wheel of the Year. We hope you've enjoyed learning about these fascinating celebrations as much as we've enjoyed sharing them with you. If you'd like to learn more about Lunasa, as well as other Celtic traditions and celebrations, be sure to visit our website, learninglunasa.ie, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Learning Lunasa. Make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment if you have a story about your own Wheel of the Year celebrations or traditions. Until next time, Slán go fóill.